You're at a party, or maybe just a dinner with 3 close friends. On paper, you're having a good time. The food is great, the conversation is interesting, and you actually like these people. But then it hits. It's like a silent alarm going off in your basement. Suddenly, your smile feels heavy. Your brain starts lagging. You find yourself staring at a spot on the wall, wondering how soon is polite to leave without looking like a jerk. You get home, lock the door, and feel this massive, crushing wave of relief. You're not just tired, you're peopled out. And look, I'm not judging. I literally spent 45 minutes in a bathroom at my own cousin's wedding just to stare at a tiled floor in silence. The fact that you clicked on a video about social exhaustion probably means you've felt that social hangover too. Right now, your brain is probably doing that thing where it tries to label you. I guess I'm just an introvert, you tell yourself. I guess my battery is just smaller than everyone else's. But here's the deal. I went down the research rabbit hole because the introversion label didn't quite fit me. I like people. I'm good at talking. So why was I ending every Saturday night feeling like I'd just run a marathon in a suit made of lead? What I found was that we've been looking at social energy all wrong. It's not just about where you fall on a personality spectrum. It's about a series of invisible psychological loops and biological taxes you're paying without realizing it. Something deeper is happening when you socialize. And it's not your imagination. This isn't a lecture about staying home and self-care. I make videos for people who want to grow, so that would be counterproductive. This is me telling you what I found in the science of social load. Turns out, the reason you're drained isn't because you're broken or antisocial. The real explanation is honestly stranger than I expected. Most people get this part wrong. Chapter 1. The Introversion Myth. You've probably heard the standard definition. Introverts get energy from being alone. Extroverts get energy from being with people. It's the goldfish attention span of the personality world. It's everywhere. It's in every HR workshop and every "which office character are you?" quiz. But here's the thing. What if that whole story was an oversimplification? In 2016, researchers at the University of Helsinki tracked hundreds of people in real time. They found something that completely broke the battery model. They discovered that everyone, including the most extreme extroverts, experienced a social hangover after 3 hours of interacting. The drain is universal. The difference isn't if you get drained. It's how fast you hit the wall and what you're doing while you're there. If you think, I'm an introvert, so I'm supposed to be tired, you've given yourself a life sentence. You've accepted the drain as a fixed trait. But when you look at the data, social exhaustion isn't a personality type. It's a cognitive tax. We've been blaming our batteries when we should be looking at our apps. Just like your phone drains faster when you have 20 apps running in the background, your brain drains faster based on the invisible loops you're running during a conversation. Let's look at what researchers have actually documented. There's a phenomenon called self-monitoring. It is the app that kills your battery. Chapter 2. The tax of the second self. Think about your brain like a theater. When you're alone, you're just the actor. You move, you breathe, you exist. But the moment another person enters the room, a second version of you is born. Psychologists call this high self-monitoring. Right now, while you're talking to your friend, part of your brain is standing in the audience, watching you. It's checking your posture. It's auditing your tone of voice. It's wondering, did that joke land? Did I just sound arrogant? Do I have something in my teeth? Am I talking too much? Am I not talking enough? This is the second self loop, and it is incredibly expensive. MRI studies show that when we are performing rather than connecting, our prefrontal cortex is working on overtime. You're not just processing what your friend is saying, you're running a real-time simulation of how you appear to them. Imagine trying to drive a car while also holding a mirror out the window to watch yourself drive. You'd be exhausted within 10 minutes. That's what high self-monitors do every single day. And here's the kicker. Smart, self-aware people, the people watching this channel, are usually the highest self-monitors. You're intelligent enough to see the patterns, which means you're intelligent enough to try and control the patterns. You're not drained by the socializing. You're drained by the performance. My brain at a dinner party. Okay, Peter, you've been quiet for 4 minutes. If you don't say something soon, They'll
all
think
these
you're bored.
distractions.
Quick,
Wait, an
find a
idea.
transition. No,
Yes,
not
I'll
that
do it.
one. That's too weird. Just laugh at what he said. Was that a fake laugh? They definitely know it was a fake laugh. Now you have to overcompensate. Meanwhile, the extrovert across the table isn't necessarily more energetic. They just aren't running the audience app. They're just the actor. Chapter 3. The Hyper-Vigilance Loop. But wait, there's more. For many of us, socializing isn't just a performance. It's a safety check. If you grew up in an environment where you had to read the room to stay safe, maybe with a volatile parent or a hypercritical social circle, you developed a superpower that is now killing your energy. It's called hypervigilance. You don't just hear words. You hear the micro shift in someone's tone. You see the half-second flash of annoyance in their eyes. You're a human sonar system. While everyone else is eating appetizers, you're subconsciously tracking the emotional temperature of 6 different people. Why did Sarah look at the floor when Mark mentioned his promotion? Are they fighting? Is the mood shifting? Do I need to intervene? Do I need to be the peacemaker? This is what researchers call emotional labor. You're not just responsible for your emotions. You've taken out an invisible mortgage on everyone else's emotions in the room. When you leave that dinner, you're exhausted because you've basically been working as an unlicensed therapist for 2 hours. You weren't socializing. You were managing. Knowing this doesn't automatically fix it, but it changes the why. You're not tired because you're an introvert. You're tired because you're sentry. You're on guard duty. And nobody can stay on guard duty for 4 hours without needing a nap. Chapter 4. The sensory overload tax. Let's talk about the room itself. There's a concept in psychology called latent inhibition. It's your brain's ability to filter out useless information. Most people have a high filter. They don't hear the hum of the air conditioner. They don't see the flickering light in the corner. They don't feel the tag on their shirt. But many creative, intelligent people have low latent inhibition. Your filter is thin. When you're at a busy restaurant, you aren't just hearing your friend. You're hearing the clinking of forks 3 tables over. You're seeing the movement of the waiter in your periphery. You're smelling the perfume of the woman behind you. Your brain is trying to process everything at once. Neuroscience tells us that our brains have a limited capacity for sensory gating. When that gate is overwhelmed, your brain triggers a mild stress response. It releases a tiny drip of cortisol. So, while you're sitting there trying to have a fun conversation, the biology is telling you that you're under attack by 1,000 tiny needles of information. By the time you get to the car, your nervous system is screaming for zone 0, a place with no noise, no light, and no input. You're not an introvert. You're a high-fidelity receiver in a world that's turned the volume up to 11. Chapter 5. The True Self Disconnect. Here is the most painful loop of all. The authenticity gap. Think back to the last time you felt truly energized after talking to someone. It probably wasn't a big party. It was likely a deep, one-on-one conversation where you lost track of time. Why didn't that drain you? Because in those moments, the authenticity gap was closed. You weren't monitoring. You weren't managing. You weren't filtered. You were aligned. The biggest drain on your social battery isn't the amount of people. It's the distance between who you are and who you're pretending to be in that moment. Every time you say, totally, to something you don't agree with, every time you laugh at a joke that wasn't funny, every time you suppress a thought because it might be too much for the group, you're paying a tax. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. It's the mental stress of holding 2 conflicting states, your internal reality and your external performance. This is why smart people get stuck. You're self-aware enough to know you're faking it, which makes the faking even more exhausting. You're watching yourself lie in real time. You're not peopled out. You're personaed out. You're tired of the mask. Chapter 6. The Recovery System. I've spent the last 10 minutes terrifying you with how much energy you're losing. That was intentional. But here's the good news. Your social energy isn't a fixed tank. It's a managed system. The same neuroplasticity that built these monitoring loops can be used to dismantle them. You don't need to throw away your phone and become a hermit. You need a social audit. All right, enough theory. Let's talk about what actually works. Step 1, the audience audit. Next time you're in a social setting, catch yourself in the second self loop. When you feel that audience member in your head judging your performance, give him a name. Call him the critic. Then, use a pattern interrupt. Physically move your body. Change your posture. Take a deep breath. And tell yourself, I am the actor, not the audience. Shift your focus from how am I doing to what are they actually saying? Curiosity is the antidote to monitoring. You cannot be truly curious about someone else and hyper-aware of yourself at the same time. The brain doesn't have enough bandwidth for both. Step 2, the sensory gating strategy. Stop trying to be a hero. If you know you have low latent inhibition, choose the environment. Don't meet at the loudest bar in the city. Suggest the quiet park. Sit with your back to the wall so your periphery is protected. Research shows that just reducing the visual load can improve social stamina by 20%. You're not being difficult. You're being strategic. Step 3, the 90-second reset. If you feel the social overload rising, that foggy, trapped feeling, don't fight it. That's just the cortisol drip. Excuse yourself. Go to the bathroom. Lock the door. And use the 90-second rule. Close your eyes. Breathe. Don't check your phone. Checking your phone is just more input. Just stand there and let the chemical wave pass. Most people wait until they are at a level 10 of exhaustion before they leave. If you take micro breaks at a level 3, you can double your social duration. Conclusion. The point of attention. Here's the thing about social energy that most people don't say out loud. The goal isn't to become an extrovert. The goal isn't to be able to stay at the party until 4 a.m. The goal is to stop losing your life to the performance. Attention is the only non-renewable resource you have. If you spend your entire social life monitoring your tone and reading the room for safety, you're not actually living those moments. You're just surviving them. I don't want to optimize my social battery so I could go to more networking events. I want to stop being drained so I can actually hear my best friend. So I can be present for my partner without my mind drifting to the exit sign. So I can have a conversation without the second self narrating my every move. I want to be more present, more me. Your life isn't happening in the moments when you're perfect. It's happening in the moments when you're aware. The fact that you made it to the end of this video proves something important. Your attention isn't cooked. You've just been spinning it on the wrong loops. Here's my challenge. One change. Just one. At your next social gathering, pick one person and decide to be 10% more honest and 10% less monitored. Say the thing you're thinking. Laugh only if it's funny. Do that, and you'll prove to yourself that the people aren't the problem. The loop is the problem, and you're already learning how to break it. Now go close some tabs, including this one. Spend some time in your zone 0. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to Knowing Myself Now. Let me know in the comments. What's the one social setting that drains you the most? Is it the audience app or the sentry duty? Let's talk about it. I've also started a way for us to connect more directly. Check the link in the description. The best time to start living your own life instead of watching yourself live it isn't someday. It's today.